103. Wright State, 62. Louisville, 93. Morehead State, 45.
You want to take a victory lap for the Louisville win?
That's
No,
pretty
it's
easy. That's like a softball.
He would, though. But this guy probably will.
Yeah,
It's
that's
Morehead
softball.
State. Yeah, when they pick up a big win, then we can talk
Who
about
they
doing the
play
victory
this
lap.
weekend, Saturday, right?
Tennessee.
At home.
Mm-hmm.
Big one for
If
you.
they beat Tennessee, I will take a victory lap.
You should.
All right.
I will take a victory lap. I can't promise
Around
I can
your
slide into
house?
home. I'm not very sliding is not my forte,
No.
but I will take a victory lap if they can beat Tennessee at home. If they don't, then you won't see me.
Spoken
I'll be
like a
gone.
true Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Phillies
I'll be
guy.
gone.
That's
I'll be gone. Where are you feeling with both those programs? Kentucky, Louisville. Can you get anything out of these two games?
No, I mean, they took care of business. If anything else, if the game was close, we would have been shocked, right? I mean, they've come out, they've handled
because
business.
there were a lot of these bye games that were close today, closer than people probably expected.
A lot of it is. I mean, there are no gimmies. I mean, some of these teams are difficult to match up. Well, we saw some of the mid-major teams, and none of these high-major teams want to play any of those teams we just saw here today.
Right.
Right? I mean, we saw some really good basketball being played. So we know that. But, again, some of the top-ranked teams, they just did what they were supposed to do. Credit to those guys. You never apologize for winning. They gotten off. You can't win one until two until you win the first one.
I'll say this. I remember a year ago.
Is that a saying? That's not a saying. You can't win two until you were. Did you just come with that off the top of your head? No one's ever. You said that like it's it's a common colloquialism. You like that word? That's a real word.
Spell that one.
Yeah.
Colloquialism.
No, don't
COLLOQUISM.
Probably not. We'll check it. We'll have Trevor
I think I got it
fact
right.
check it later.
Yeah, Trevor can.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the only thing I'd say is from some of these bye games, like a year ago, I remember watching, I was there when Indiana barely beat Army. And then they barely beat a few other bye teams, right? And obviously this was not a good Indiana team at the end of the day. I think if you see the same result again for a few of these teams that have struggled and then won, right? Like if Providence without Bryce Hopkins, so that's a little bit different. But if some of these teams, are struggling consistently against bye teams, even winning them, then you say to yourself, okay, you know what? Once they step it up, something's wrong here. Something's not going to translate.
No, I wish teams played better games earlier in the season.
They suck. That's why we have what we have here.
Particularly some of the teams that'll end up complaining come March.
Yeah, right. Don't complain.
Right.
If you played a schedule of cupcakes, don't complain because it's a bunch of BS. Play people. I don't care how good your league is, whatever it is, unless, again, and even really if you're a guy on the hot seat and you need to win, well, then if you put yourself in the situation of being in the NCAA tournament, hey,
the only time I give people a little bit of leeway and benefit of the doubt is when you have a really young team that is not where you don't think that you're that good. And you want to build the confidence.
Depends who you are, though.
Year one, year two,
So
unless you're a perennial NCAA tournament team. If you're a team that has not made it and you need to get in, then freaking schedule good opponents to give yourself a chance. Stop relying on just your league because unless you're a dominant team in your league, and when you get to the Power 5 teams, you're going to beat yourselves up. You're going to beat each other up. Right, Duke's going to finish among the top teams. Right, you're going to have the outside of that schedule a better non-conference schedule.
Here's the other problem with it: in these 18-team leagues, you're not always going to get the best teams at home. Right, if you're in the Big Ten right now and you play 20 league games and you only get 3 of them at home or 3 of them home and home, there's no guarantee that you're getting Purdue and Indiana and Michigan State.
Well, that's where look at Indiana's schedule this year. Look at who they have at home. It's garbage. And then they go to the Bahamas, so they have to play a couple tough games in an MTE. But other than that, if they don't do well in the MTE, it puts a lot of pressure on you having a win in the Big Ten. And the Big Ten this year isn't overwhelming.
But the difference in Indiana is they're starting the season like in the top 15 preseason in the country. So they're already there, right? They just have to lose their way out of the tournament. They just hold court, they're there. Right. I'm talking about the teams that are not nationally ranked, that 30 to 40 to 50 group. Yeah. You're not in. You got to play your way into the tournament, and that's the key. To assure yourself of just playing cupcakes and then waiting till you get into your conference play. I think it's a big mistake. And I know you say, hey, we play 18 games. Well, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some in your league. The leagues, I don't care. Every league is tough once it gets into their own league, and we get to the March and you get tired. Everybody's complaining and everybody's crying about my league's the best and my league's the best. And they come to us when we're calling the games out. Promote us. Freaking schedule somebody, play some better games, and put your destiny in your own hands.
I'll tell you what. You will get a lot more of us riding for you if you go out there and you play home and homes against top 25 teams. Let's say you play 4 non-conference games against top 25 teams that aren't in MTE, 2 of them away from home, and you lose 3 of them
like
on one possession.
Bruce Pearl's
buckets.
a great example at Auburn. He plays people.
But if you're right there, like let's say that you lose on the buzzer at Auburn, right, and you're a high major team, there isn't a single person on the planet that's going to be like, yeah, they stink. They just lost it. No, you lost it on the buzzer on the road.
Tom
Do
Izzo.
that. Yeah. You're always going to get the benefit of the